Commanders, and welcome back to another flight school training tutorial video for Elite Dangerous. This is Commander Hoochie. Hope you're having a great day. I know I am. And I'm going to have a great day today because I'm going to talk about something that can be pretty confusing to the first-time commander in Elite Dangerous, and that's how to navigate around using the map. So I'm sitting here at Olescu City. You can see where I'm at right there if you see my cursor moving up and down. Right above that it shows me where I'm at. I also have that Olescu City targeted, and that's the green icon you see to the left of Starport Services. But what I want to go into today is kind of how to use the maps and to navigate without ever leaving the station. There's two ways that I can use to get over to the maps. I can hold X and then go to the target panel. That's one way. I also could click in on my right stick and use head look to go over to that navigation panel, that target panel over there, and that's another valid way to do it. Today I'm going to use X, though. I'm going to hold X, go over to the target panel because it zooms in on it a little bit better and we can see it a little bit better. So I'm currently in the Valti system. Now you see my location there at the very top in the top left hand corner. I can use my right bumpers to go through all these sub-menus here, but I'm going to stick with navigation. And it shows me in the Valti system. I assume I'm saying Valtis, right? It could be Valtis or Valtais or something like that, but I'm going to call it Valtis. Valti system, been here doing some bounty hunting and running some fuel over to Jock's station so that I can be a part of the community goal this week. But I'm sitting here, and if you notice under my location, you know, it's kind of got all of these things listed here, you know, and different places, I guess. And if it's, you know, what are these and what are they? Well, one thing we can do is we can set some filters here that can help us to determine what something is. But all of these have icons that can help you as well. For instance, this icon right here is a Coriolis starport, and that's where I'm at, is a Olescu City. So, you know, by knowing what that icon, that's a starport icon that's right next to it there to the left of the word Olescu, then I know that. A nav beacon, that's a broadcast. That's something that's out there sending out a signal, and that's what the icon looks for, that just to the left of nav. Valtis A belt cluster 3, the icon there that's left of that, shows me that's an asteroid belt. So I can know those icons and use that, or I can also come over here to set filters, press A, and I have navigation filters that I can use if I'm looking for something specific. So let's just say I just jumped into Valtis and I'm looking just for the planets and the moons, or better yet, maybe I'm just looking for the stations that are available here because I need gas, or I need to heal my shields, or I need a hull repair, I need more ammo, I need to see that hot chick at the bar at Valtis Olescu station, you know, whatever the case may be. I want to find stations, so I can press A and that will darken in that box, and now I know that the only thing that's going to show up in my list here are all the stations. Now it will show up nav beacons, and nav beacons are points of interest that I can go to and do bounty hunting or look for people in specific, but it also is going to show up the stations. So these are the three places in this system at which I could dock: Olescu City, Sharman Dock, and Veach Dock. Now Veach is way out there at 1,189 light seconds, so it would take me a while to get out there, whereas this one is only 789 meters, because I'm sitting there right now. It's not light seconds, I'm sitting inside that station right now, so pretty darn close to that. But the Sharman Dock would take me 721 light seconds. That's the distance it is from here, and that's not a lot. I could get there pretty quickly, but 1,189 light seconds, that's a little bit farther and will take a little more time. I can go in and change these filters. Let's say I wanted to just see points of interest. Maybe I'm looking for something in particular in this system. Well, the only thing I'm going to find here is a nav beacon, but other systems may have more points of interest, distress calls, various things like that. Signal sources also show up. The nav beacon will show up, but if you have someone seeking weapons, or one of those distress calls like I mentioned a moment ago, that's another place where you can get it. You can also look at just the asteroid clusters. Maybe I just want to go to, you know, see what's here in terms of asteroid clusters. You know, the filters can be very handy for, you know, figuring out what's here. Of course, the star itself is Valtes. That's the name of the star that we're at. And there's just one star in this system. It's not a binary, trinary, or whatever the next one would be. So that's cool to know. And you know, so this is really nice. So, you know, if I'm looking for something in particular now, if I want to see what systems are in range around me, which can come in handy as well, perhaps I need to get out a system. Maybe I racked up a bounty and somebody's trying to kill me. I can come into systems here, highlight that, go back out with B, and now I see all the systems around me that are within a certain range. And in this case, the range goes up to 19.6 light years. Well, that coordinates to my jump range. If I go over here to my my ship, and I go into my status, my functions, I'm sorry, and look over there on my jump range, I see that you know, fully laden ASP Explorer can go 23.59 light years. Well, over here I have all the systems that are within jump range for me right here. If I need to get out of here in a hurry, maybe head over to Limbava and relax for a few minutes at Limbava. Well, here's where all these are. Okay, and I can lock the destination by pressing A, and now when I fly out of this station, that destination will be locked. So the filters are very useful. I highly suggest that you get used to using them to find points of interest. I do want to talk about the galaxy map, so we're going to go ahead and highlight the galaxy map and press A, and it's going to take us into the galaxy map. Now this could probably be a complete tutorial all by itself, but I'm only going to do 3 or 4 minutes here about how to use the galaxy map, and we'll go into greater detail in the future at this. The galaxy map opens and it shows me where I'm at. I'm using the right stick to rotate around my location. My location is always highlighted by that orange cone, which if I pull all the way out, wow, look at that. That's the Milky Way galaxy, and we're out in one of those spiral arms, quite a ways from the center, 22,000 light years or so. But I still know where I'm at based on that orange cone. I'm going to go ahead and zoom all the way back into Valtes, and you can see the multitude of stars around me just in this small ball of the universe, or the galaxy that we're in. That's just incredible to me to come in. Sometimes I come in and look at this map and it just continues to blow my mind. So I can use right stick to rotate around my location. Now, the right stick I use to rotate around in the map. I can also use the left trigger to zoom out, and I can use the right trigger to zoom in. So left trigger out, right trigger in, right stick rotates around. The left stick, on the other hand, does something else, and it will move your cursor around the star map so that you can select other stars. Now you can only select stars that are kind of within the same plane as you are. If you see what I mean, you'll see these blue dots, and the star is actually somewhat below the plane, but it's still close enough to the plane, my horizontal plane. If I were to rotate down, you know, you can see all the stars within a certain you know, up and down factor. I'm not sure what that is, that I could select, you know, with this cursor. So the blue dot, you know, that's not actually the star. That's just representative of you being able to select that star because you're close enough to its horizontal plane. So if I highlight the blue stop for Terpuna, I have some options. Okay, I can press A, and that will actually take me down onto the plane and let me directly select the star. All right. Now once I'm here, I can also plot a route. You know, by pressing A on this little icon right here, I can plot a route. All right. And then I can also, if available, I can access the system map from here, and we'll talk greater about system maps in another video. I just want to talk about the galaxy map today. So I was actually able to plot a route to Terpuna. It also gives me some general information right here on the screen. I can see that it's a red dwarf star, its allegiance is Federation, 29.4 million, corporate, economy is industrial and extraction. All right. Now if I hit the left bumper, once, it takes me over to the left-hand panel, and this is sort of a flyout menu that gives me even more access to information. I still have the info for the system over here in terms of the star types, the allegiance, etc. But once I get into the flyout panel, I can use right bumper to go through several more menus. Alright, so I'm using right bumper and left bumper to navigate back and forth between these menus. So the first one would give me navigation. So my current location is listed here. My selected location is listed here. It gives me economical routes, fastest routes, FSD boost, which is something we'll talk about in a future video, and then it just shows me my jump range down here as well. If I wanted to say find a specific system, I could enter that system name right here by highlighting enter system name and pressing A. Let's say I wanted to see where Sol is from here. SOL. Of course, that's our star system. I hit enter. The map is going to zoom and go crazy and take me to Sol. Okay, and then here we are. This is where we are right now. Now, you can't go to Sol unless you have a Sol system permit, and there's a whole group of things you have to do in order to get that. However, I can look at Sol system and I can see where it's at. I can also look at it in the system map and see what else there that I could travel to. So that's one thing that I could do. I want to go back to Valtis. I come back down and highlight Valtis and press A, and it'll take me right back to where I am. Okay. If I want to look at my selected location, I can press A, and that shows me my next destination along my route, which I set up to go to Drapuna. So I'm over here in the flyout menu. If I hit right bumper again, I can go to view, and now I have several options in terms of map. Right now I have a map, but let's say I wanted to look at it in terms of realistic. Okay. Now it doesn't have as much data. It's just got the stars everywhere. I can see stars everywhere. And that's a realistic map. If I flip it and go back to map, now it just shows me the stars within my neighborhood. And then if I go to power play, that shows me something completely different, especially as that's not exactly working properly right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong thing. That's why. There's the power plant, or the power play, how the galaxy is divided among all the factions that are involved in power play. And again, that's another video, but we'll talk about it another time. I also have the option, if I go into the options over here, of turning on and off certain things that I might want to see. Perhaps I want to find I just want to see where my friends are inside of the game. I could turn all these off except for the friends, and I'll go ahead and switch the view back to map to make it easier to see. And now I'm just going to be able to see my friend markers. I won't see other markers like wing markers, mission markers, or ship markers. And if I click that, I can show star names, or I can turn them off. I can turn on nebula name, region names, constellation names. I can turn the grid on and off if I want it. Don't really need it, but it kind of gives me a frame of reference, so I keep it on for that reason. So using the right bumpers and left bumpers, I can navigate through all this and get to what I want. We'll say another word about the map over here, and that's if I go down, I can also change some things here. Perhaps I want to find something. The filter is very, very powerful. For instance, if I want to find something specific, let's say I go into here, I can search via government, economy, star class, cartographic data, trade data, whatever I want right here. Let's say I'm just looking for economy, and I want high tech. High tech places are good places to upgrade and outfit your ship. I just want to see all the stars that are considered to be, all the systems that are considered to be high tech. Well, I can turn everything else off except for high tech star systems, and now all of these stars that are glowing in this kind of cyan blue color here are those systems. Now, one thing you need to know about this cursor is if you tap X, now you can move the cursor up and down and get above the horizontal plane and get access to other star systems. Okay, and I'm using the right stick to help do that. But now I can get access to some of these other star systems that I didn't have access in before. Okay, so You know, that's one thing that's hard to do. Now, if I go back out, you'll see that, you know, that jump I planned to Trapuna, it'll show me that my route is going to take 2 jumps. It'll show me my next destination and then my route. And, you know, that's kind of how you're going to use the galaxy map. Now, there's some weird things about it that you'll want to work on, but that's all I'm going to do in this video. We'll talk a little bit more about the system map and galactic powers in a future video. But until that time, please remember, if you have any questions or comments, put them down in the comment section. I'll try to respond to those. And remember, fly safe, Commanders.